The biggest lie you have ever been sold is that the more you give, the more you get. You have been conditioned to believe that attraction is a linear equation, where effort is the primary variable. You think that if you just send one more text, buy one more gift, or show up one more time, the woman of your dreams will finally see your value. But the reality of human psychology is far more cold and far more counterintuitive than the romantic comedies have led you to believe. In the real world, the man who does the most is often the man who is valued the least. Why? Because you have removed the most critical ingredient in the recipe of desire, the space for her to choose you. When you are constantly in her face, you are not a romantic. You are a commodity, and commodities are always cheap. If you want to change the way women perceive you, you must first change the way you perceive the dynamics of attention. You must stop viewing your time as something to be handed out for free, and start viewing it as a limited resource that must be earned. This is not about playing games. It is about understanding the biological and psychological triggers that govern human interest. Attraction is not a choice she makes consciously. It is a reaction she has to your perceived value and the emotional environment you create. If that environment is crowded with your constant presence and your desperate need for validation, there is no room for attraction to grow. You have suffocated the flame before it could even catch. To fix this, we must strip away the nonsense and look at the actual pillars of attraction that make a man unforgettable. Pillar 1 involves understanding that mystery makes her mind run wild. The human brain is a biological machine designed to solve puzzles. When you give a woman your entire life story on the first date, you have solved the puzzle for her. There is nothing left for her to wonder about. There is no reason for her to replay your conversations in her head because there are no unanswered questions. Think about the most successful television shows in history. They do not give you all the answers in the pilot episode. They use cliffhangers. They leave threads dangling. They make you wait a week between episodes so that your mind has time to theorize and obsess over what might happen next. You must apply this same logic to your personal interactions. If she asks you about your past, you do not need to provide a chronological deposition. You can smile and say that you prefer to focus on the present. This is not about lying. It is about protecting your narrative. When you withhold information, her imagination fills in the gaps. And here is the secret. Her imagination will always create a version of you that is more interesting and more compelling than the version you would have presented through oversharing. By being mysterious, you are essentially allowing her to do the work of attracting herself to you. You are giving her the mental real estate to build a legend around your character. This brings us to Pillar 2, which is the architecture of scarcity. In economics, the law of supply and demand is absolute. If something is in infinite supply, its value drops to zero. If you are always available to text back within 30 seconds, if you are always free on a Friday night, and if you are always willing to drop everything to see her, you are signaling to her subconscious that your time has no market value. You are telling her that you have nothing better to do. A high-value man is a man on a mission. He has goals, he has a career, he has a fitness regimen, and he has a social circle. His time is spoken for. When you prioritize your own life over her temporary whims, you are not being a jerk. You are being an individual. This scarcity creates a natural tension. She begins to value the moments she does get with you because she knows they are not guaranteed. She understands that she has to compete with your ambitions and your hobbies for a slice of your attention. This makes every interaction feel like a win for her. If you make it too easy, she will eventually grow bored and look for a challenge elsewhere. Pillar 3 is about emotional impact that lingers. Most men focus on the logistics of a date. They worry about the restaurant, the price of the wine, and the cleanliness of their car. While these things matter on a surface level, they are not what she will remember 3 days later. She will remember how you made her feel. Did you challenge her? Did you make her laugh in a way that felt slightly mischievous? Did you hold eye contact a little too long, creating that uncomfortable yet electric tension? You must learn to create emotional spikes. A man who is always nice is a man who is predictable. Predictability is the death of desire. You need to mix warmth with coldness, humor with seriousness, and presence with absence. This emotional variance creates an imprint in her mind. It is like a song with a catchy hook. She cannot stop replaying it because it is not a flat line of noise. It has peaks and valleys. If you want to be unforgettable, you must be willing to be polarizing. You must be willing to say things that she might disagree with, and you must be willing to stand your ground when your values are tested. This leads directly into Pillar 4, confidence without the need for external validation. A man who needs a woman to tell him he is handsome or successful is a man who is inherently weak. True confidence is self-contained. It is the ability to sit in a room and feel completely comfortable, even if no one is looking at your way. When you interact with a woman from a place of abundance, you are not seeking anything from her. You are not looking for a sign that she likes you. You are simply evaluating if she is a good fit for your life. This shift in frame is massive. Instead of you being the one on trial trying to prove your worth, she becomes the one who feels the need to impress you. Women are hyper-aware of social dynamics. They can sense when a man is trying too hard to earn their approval, and it is an immediate turnoff. But when they meet a man who is genuinely indifferent to their opinion of him, it creates a psychological vacuum. They feel a natural urge to fill that vacuum by trying to win him over. Pillar 5 focuses on identity sovereignty. You must have a life that is so compelling and so full that a woman is merely a welcome addition to it, not the center of it. If your world revolves around her, you have essentially become a satellite. Satellites are useful, but they are not the sun. You must be the sun. You must have passions that have nothing to do with dating. You must have a brotherhood of men who hold you accountable. You must have a vision for your future that you would pursue, even if you never met another woman in your life. When a woman sees that you are not dependent on her for your happiness or your sense of purpose, she feels a profound sense of security. Paradoxically, your independence makes you more attractive because it suggests that you are a stable, grounded individual who won't crumble if the relationship faces challenges. Pillar 6 is the power of absence to fuel desire. There is a psychological concept known as the Zeigarnik effect, which states that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. When you are always there, the task of being with you is completed. There is no tension. But when you leave a conversation at its peak, or when you take a few days to focus on your work without checking in, you are leaving the task uncompleted. Her mind will keep returning to you, trying to find closure. This is why the man who disappears for a weekend to go hiking with his friends often finds a phone full of texts when he returns. His absence created a space that her mind was forced to fill with thoughts of him. You must be brave enough to step away. You must be brave enough to let her miss you. If you never give her the chance to feel your absence, she can never truly appreciate your presence. Finally, Pillar 7 is the finality of self-respect. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. If a woman treats you with disrespect, or if she is not matching your energy, you must be willing to walk away. And I don't mean walking away as a tactic to get her back. I mean walking away because you genuinely value yourself too much to stay in a situation that is beneath you. This walk-away power is the ultimate form of leverage in any human interaction. It shows that you are not a beggar. It shows that you have standards. A man who is afraid to lose a woman has already lost her. But a man who is willing to lose her in order to maintain his dignity is a man she will respect forever. This tough love approach to dating is not about being a bad boy or being manipulative. It is about being a man of substance in a world of superficiality. It is about understanding that attraction is a byproduct of high-value behavior. You cannot negotiate attraction. You cannot argue someone into liking you. You can only project a version of yourself that is so solid, so mysterious, and so self-assured that she cannot help but be drawn into your orbit. This requires a complete overhaul of your mindset. You have to stop being the guy who asks, "Does she like me?" and start being the guy who asks, "Is she worth my time?" You have to stop seeking permission to lead and start leading by example. This synthesis of the high-value mindset is not a quick fix. It is a lifelong commitment to excellence. It is about the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you handle silence. Silence is your greatest ally. Most men are terrified of a lull in conversation, so they fill it with nervous chatter. A high-value man leans into the silence. He lets it sit. He allows the tension to build. He knows that he doesn't need to perform to be interesting. He is interesting simply because he is there. If you can master the art of being comfortable in the void, you will become a magnet for attention. Women will look at you and wonder what you are thinking. They will wonder why you aren't more anxious to please them. And that wonder is the beginning of an obsession. You have to realize that most men are doing the exact opposite of what I am telling you. They are over-investing, they are oversharing, and they are making themselves far too easy to catch. By simply following these 7 pillars, you are already putting yourself in the top 1% of men. You are becoming the rarity. And in a world of abundance, the rarity is always the most valuable asset. So stop sending the good morning texts every single day. Stop explaining your every move. Stop being the guy who is always available for a chat. Start building a life that you love, and let her be the one who tries to earn a place in it. This is the truth about attraction. It is not about how much you do, it is about who you are. It is about the impact you leave when you aren't even in the room. It is about the mystery you maintain and the standards you uphold. If you can internalize these principles, you will never have to chase again. You will find that the more you focus on yourself, the more the world, and the women in it, will focus on you. This is not just dating advice. It is a blueprint for being a man of impact. It is time to step out of the shadows of overinvestment and into the light of self-sovereignty. The journey to becoming unforgettable starts with a single decision. The decision to stop making it so easy for everyone else. Hold your ground. Protect your time. Cultivate your mystery. When you do, you will realize that the psychology of attraction was never about her. It was always about the man you were becoming. It is about the discipline to stay silent when you want to speak. It is about the strength to stay focused on your mission when you are tempted to get distracted. It is about the integrity to stay true to your values when they are challenged. When you embody these traits, you become a force of nature. You become the man that women talk about when they are with their friends. You become the man they dream about when they are alone. You become the man they can't stop thinking about. Not because of what you gave them, but because of what you represent. You represent a challenge. You represent a prize. You represent a life that is full of meaning and direction. And that, more than anything else, is what creates a lasting emotional impact. The road ahead is not easy. It requires you to confront your insecurities and to kill the part of you that craves constant approval. But the reward is a level of attraction and respect that most men will never experience. You have the tools. You have the pillars. Now, you must have the courage to implement them. Stop being the man who needs and start being the man who is. This is the shift. This is the synthesis. This is the reality of the high-value mindset. You are no longer a spectator in the game of attraction. You are the architect. Build something that lasts. Build something that commands attention without saying a word. This is your mission. Don't waste another second being the guy who is easily forgotten. Be the man who lingers. Be the man who makes an impact. Be the man who understands that the true power of attraction lies in the things you don't do. By mastering restraint, you master the mind. And by mastering the mind, you master the world. It is time to stop playing small. It is time to start playing for keeps. The psychology of mystery, scarcity, and impact is your new operating system. Install it, run it, and watch as the world around you shifts to accommodate your new reality. You are now the man she can't forget, not because you tried to be, but because you refused to be anything less than your highest self. The work starts now. Every text you don't send is a victory. Every hour you spend on your craft instead of scrolling through her social media is a win. Every time you stand your ground and refuse to be treated as an option, you are reinforcing your value. This is how you win the game. This is how you stay on her mind. You become the constant variable in a world of change. You become the anchor. You become the mystery that she will spend a lifetime trying to solve. And that, my friend, is the ultimate form of attraction. There is no going back now. You have seen behind the curtain. You know the truth. The question is, do you have the discipline to live it? Do you have the strength to be the man who doesn't need her so that she can finally be the woman who wants you? The choice is yours. Choose wisely, because your legacy and your romantic future depend on it. This is the path of the high-value man. Walk it with pride, walk it with purpose, and never look back. The obsession you seek from her is simply a reflection of the respect you have for yourself. Cultivate that respect, and everything else will fall into place. That is the final word on the psychology of attraction. Go out there and be the man who is worth the mystery. Stop being a predictable commodity and start being a rare treasure. The results will speak for themselves. You have the blueprint. Now build the life. This is the end of the line for the old you. The new you starts today, and he is a man of depth, a man of impact, and a man who understands that his silence is more powerful than his words ever were. Believe in the process, trust the science, and stay the course. The world is waiting for a man who doesn't need it. Be that man.